This is the final installment in a series of video blogs in which members of the Southern Africa Climate Finance Partnership reflect on their experiences of participating in and delivering the past 6 years of the program. The series seeks to explore the lessons from knowledge brokering within a community of practice for climate finance mobilization. This video blog looks into the relevance and future of the Southern Africa Climate Finance Partnership as a knowledge brokering platform seeking to support institutions and countries in Southern Africa to mobilize much needed catalytic climate finance.
The bank and the GCF just signed the accreditation master agreement last week, and we are now a fully accredited entity of the Green Climate Fund. We can now begin to develop projects and submit concept notes.
There are so many opportunities for us within this space, especially now that the bank wants to set up the climate finance facility, which will also be complementing the funding that will be coming from other financial institutions, including the GCF. I think that will put the bank in a very strategic position in terms of financing climate-related projects and programs. So opportunities do exist, and the space is there for the bank. I think the bank will go far in terms of addressing climate finance related issues, because we already have the systems and structures in place. So that on its own really provides opportunities for the bank to excel within the space.
It's been fulfilling, and I hope I still have the opportunity going forward to play that role of a climate change champion for my country and for my institution.
At this stage, DBN is ready to submit its GCF accreditation application. We see ourselves being accreditation hopefully very soon, and getting an accreditation by GCF is actually very good for the institution, because we see ourselves being in a position where we will now be able to fund climate finance of a larger scale. It can only be a good thing for DBN and for Namibia in general.
We would really wish if we can get training to everyone in the organization, because I think it is something that should be known by everybody in the organization, because this is where the world is going. Climate change and environmental management are something that everyone in the organization should understand. So being part of the people who are pioneering, understanding the issues before anybody else, that makes me feel very much great.
Do champions need champions? Yes, they do. I think in the spirit of an organization, you need to take a big mindset shift to take cognizance of how climate change is going to change the game for that organization, and even in particular organizations' context, their relevancy and even their business model is tenuous.
Partnerships with national designated authorities are also quite important in terms of understanding, what are the key strategic drivers that will achieve NDC targets, and also alignment with national adaptation plans. We've seen without those frequent engagements, it's very difficult to get buy-in from NDAs. And I think obviously partnerships with private sector is absolutely crucial to achieve climate impact and to address the climate challenge. It's important to crowd in private sector. So there has to be strong engagements with the private sector in the region in terms of understanding key barriers for private sector to be involved in financing climate, and how GCF can be used to de-risk these projects. It's important that we all work together as accredited entities or those that are seeking accreditation in order to support each other in terms of accessing climate finance. At the end of the day, without a coordinated effort involving private sector, government, executing entities, accredited entities, as well as NGOs, you will not achieve the impact that that is required in terms of addressing you know, the needs of countries in Southern Africa.
Yeah, partnering is very essential in climate finance. Basically, to create a community of professionals is also very important, because even in negotiations, either with the GCF or around convention, it's very easy to get professionals agree around certain positions and certain thematic areas if they already are organized through networks of their own, like the one that this program is supporting.
SSN and SACFP bring a structure, and outside of the fact that I've got direct access to all of the colleagues in the region, it's that structure that actually allows and facilitates for the learning to take place. Because we've got so many telephone numbers and emails. And so the role that South, North and SACF play will continue to be a critical one in making sure that it can be the facilitator for peer-to-peer meetings, engagements, and learning across the region.
Apart from thanking SSN and its leadership for allowing us to be part of this journey, we really look forward to be part of it as long as it lasts and play our constructive role as EIF.
So I think the one criticism off the bat is that, you know, as a team, we don't know what we don't know. So we started this phase with some level of healthy, unknown elements around the capacity needs assessment, and therefore formalizing a knowledge exchange, especially an external kind of knowledge sharing strategy at the get-go of the phase, was very difficult because we hadn't run that capacity needs assessment. And I feel like the critique here is that the formalization of that knowledge sharing strategy should have happened midway through the program. That's one element that is super important to scaling up and sharing what happens within this community of practice more broadly. And I think the one element to also taken is that the timeframes here are often linked to the external support that's been provided. And in that regard, if you look more laterally at the knowledge that's been developed, we were disseminating and sharing knowledge products from the previous phase in this phase, and it was still highly relevant and necessary to do so. But this idea that what you can do in 3 years, and then the longevity of what knowledge is generated in this particular phase and how that's then shared in the fourth phase of the SACFB is critically important, and for us to kind of start thinking of it in that extended length of time.
If this model continues being successful, it can continue adapting to needs and adding value as these institutions continue their journey towards accessing and implementing climate finance. There are many unknowns that lie in wait for them, and it seems we've found a way of supporting them that is genuinely empowering.
Especially looking forward to this next phase is how does one scale appropriately this type of knowledge brokering work, which is something that will be kind of preeminent in our thoughts going into 2023.